Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'm going to call the meeting to order. This is the meeting of the Town Center Committee being held on November 17th in the Matthew Thornton Building in the Merrimack Town Hall. We're down a couple of members today. I've already gotten excuses from some people. Dawn Tuamala can't be with us, but Leo LaCollette is here in her stead. And thank you for that. Thank you for coming and for being part of this meeting, because important to all of that we do is the Department of Public Works in Merrimack. And they've been very busy this week, and we'll talk about that some more in a minute. Others that are absent with excuse are Nick LaValle. He's ill, and Karen Freed said she could not come, and Finley, we understand, is enjoying the tropics. So we'll leave it at that and begin with our minutes, our minute taker. We're going to thank Karen Contos once again for being such a good minute taker. They're getting better all the time, Karen. And so thank you for that. And we've got our first order of business is approving the minutes of October 20th. Now, we said in one of these, it says in the agenda that the minutes of October 30th, but that's a typo. It's the minutes of October the 20th, 2023. And there's copies of it put out for a few people. I sent them by email. So what's the pleasure of this board with regard to approving those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve them. I was not here,
Yeah,
so I'm going to be abstaining on the vote, but I will make a motion to approve them.
I think you can do that. And I'll second them for discussion. And are there any corrections, omissions, additions, things that we left out, things that I corrected a couple little things I didn't even bother to tell you about. They were just small typos. And
I thought they were very thorough, and I did watch the rebroadcast, and they sounded like they were in line with the
she got
rebroadcast.
it. Good. All right, I'll call the question. All those in favor of approving the minutes as they are printed, say aye. 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 Aye.
And
Okay,
abstain.
he's abstaining, but okay. That takes care of that bit of business. And the next item on our agenda is old business discussions. And the first thing is the most exciting thing that's happened to our committee in months, or since the completion of the Woodbury Street sidewalk. This is our next big accomplishment, and we're very happy to have had the groundbreaking on November the 3rd in the Watson Park, attended by members of all the contractors who were involved, and the DPW, and several town officials showed up. Several of the town council members showed up, and other people interested. The historical commission showed up, so we had quite a display. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about today, and I'm so glad you're here to represent Dawn, is that I wanted to get a little status of where you think we are, and what it's going to. Well, the big question that I get asked all the time is, when are you going to finish? Now that we've started, the next thing they look to is finished. And Dawn always says, "Oh, we don't know. We've got this, that, and the other." I know there's all kinds of things that can happen, but there must be some kind of a target schedule out there for the contractors to work to.
Let me turn on my mic here.
Okay. Oh, I did introduce you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Good.
Yes, you
Good.
did.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for introducing me and bringing me in here as Don's replacement today.
Yeah.
as far as the schedule goes for the Sohegan River Trail, things are progressing nicely. We've had a pretty good break in the weather, so things are moving along at a good pace and on schedule. The contractors have given us a draft schedule to go by, but a lot of the tasks span through the winter. So giving an end date right now would be a folly, really,
Yeah.
because weather's going to change a lot of what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, if we have a mild winter and good dry weather, we'll be able to get a lot more done over the winter than anticipated.
Yeah.
So right now, the draft schedule looks as if this is going to be a summer completion date. Okay, so in the summer, probably June, July-ish.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
like I said, that's a caveat based upon weather this winter. There's a lot of tasks that need to be done. The nice thing is that the contractor has gotten a pretty good jump on things and has opened up enough so that we've been able to get in there and take some good photos. We have an engineer on site that's overseeing the project, and they have a person on site taking photos as the contractor goes as well. So
This is an engineer from the town staff?
this is an engineer from it's a private engineer. It's part of the
Is it
so he
Beta?
can-
Beta?
beta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. They were
they're-
part of the contract.
They're part
Yeah.
of the contract,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
So they're required as part of DOT's requirements
Yes.
to have an on-site engineer, construction engineer.
Yeah.
So they're a
Okay,
little
yeah.
different than the design engineer.
Yeah. But the other question I get a lot of is the town, any of the town forces involved in this? And I
Mhm.
usually say no because that's what I thought was right. But
Well, Dawn and I keep a close eye on it.
Yeah.
I've been up down to the trail every day since
Oh,
we
you have?
started. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So no, and we've been brought in. There's been some minor changes, a small alignment change, because the surveys. This project was initiated back in 2008, 2009.
Yeah.
Some of the surveys that the design was based upon is based on 2014 survey. Well,
Yeah.
the river has changed
Yeah.
in that time period, so there's a little bit of an alignment change because of that.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
just curious, if you say the river has changed,
Mhm.
was this just something that would have happened once they took the dam down and it will not change again, or will it change? Is it gonna be a variable that will always be changing? So
No.
that, do they change like where they're gonna put trail or?
Yeah, we've had to adjust the alignment a little bit closer to the fire station. It's also based upon some bedrock that we've found. So during the design, the designers couldn't get out there to actually do borings because of the wetland issues and wetland permitting. So permitting had to be completed before some of this information could be obtained. Now that the contractor's on site, he's exposed some of that bedrock. We've got a better idea where the alignment really should go, and I think it's actually worked out in a positive way for that.
So there's a piece of the sluiceway, like it's a concrete wall,
Mhm.
that comes down, correct?
Does not.
Oh, it doesn't.
We go through it.
So
The
it gets
trail
cut
Somehow.
somehow?
Actually, the initial design was to go through one slide gate, and it was going to be cut. An opening was going to be cut 6 feet wide, 8 feet tall, to run the path through. But there's two slide gates. The small metal one in which we had to cut out, and next to it was a wooden slide gate.
Mhm.
The wooden slide gate was deteriorated so badly that it was a safety hazard. So we've disassembled that, and that slide gate is 6 feet wide and 8 feet tall. So we won't have to actually cut into that as it turns out right now. So it actually, and that's part of that realignment. It's, realigning from, 3 feet or so from one side to the other. But it also gives a more natural path through as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, and it avoids some bedrock that we discovered as well.
Yeah.
So when you see it, and you can see it from the fire station side if you go
Yeah.
up to the
I haven't been over to that side. I've been to the side in Watson Park
Watson
side.
Park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now that the brush and the plants and the invasive
Yeah.
species have been cleared
Yeah.
cleared out, if you are on the fire station side, some of the view is going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really a picturesque
Yeah. Yeah.
site. Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
Good. Will there be any blasting involved to remove? You talked about ledge and rock and
There's ledge and rock, but there's not going to be any blasting.
good. Good.
Yeah, that site would not accommodate blasting.
Oh, they
because of
could
the-
do it if they had to, but I'm
I
glad
would
to
be
hear.
very nervous about that.
Yeah, well, somebody is. These are the kind of questions we're getting, you know,
Yeah.
and so I had to ask it here and for the public record that.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. Actually, I should restate that to the best of my knowledge.
Understand.
No blasting, but I would be a little nervous if there
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. Right. Well, it's interesting. The river found its course through there, and over the centuries, it wore itself down into a place that's
Yeah,
down below, and yeah, good.
water makes its own path, right?
Yeah, right.
Right.
Questions from the committee?
Actually, I have a question. So if there's a really big storm, it's possible the water could go over the trail then?
I suppose there could be, yes, but the trail's also going to have its own drainage to it. So it will shed stormwater normally, on normal, 5, 10-year, 100-year storms, it will shed. If there's a catastrophic flood in that area, it would flood, but it will shed it off too.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else, Bill? No? Good.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Leo. That's good information, and I think I can now answer all the questions I've been asked so far. Thank you. The next thing on our agenda was reviewing the town center priority list and cost estimates that we were given. I wanted to bring something to the attention of the board that's caught my eye, and maybe it's caught others' eyes as well. But there's a couple of apartment houses that are being built at the north end of the Tractor Supply lot. And they're closing off temporarily, and I hope it's temporary, the roadway in there that led from Twin Bridge Road into the parking lot. But I'm not sure how that will, I know it ends up, I know there'll be a path through there, whether it'll be used as much as the present entrance, I don't know. But in our initial discussions of priorities for pieces of sidewalk to be added to the town was a connection between the walkway through the Tractor Supply lot and all of those houses, and connecting that to the trail from Twin Bridge Park that comes out onto Twin Bridge Road. And there's just a short piece of connection between there. Of course, it requires you to cross Twin Bridge Road, but Twin Bridge Road is not a heavily used road, and it was given a priority 4, but with those 2 apartment houses going in right there, this would be just an ideal connection for people who lived in those houses to go into Twin Bridge Park. You just have to cross the street, basically. And so I was wondering if the board, I'd like the board to think about it. It's probably not enough of us here to make this decision. I'd like to encourage, and oh, by the way, the feature is that that was roughly estimated at $100,000, which is the cheapest thing on our list.
The developer's not gonna put a sidewalk there?
No. Well, they put a in front of their house, but they could have extended it. The planning board, I don't want to speak against the planning board, but the short answer is no. There's a little piece that needs to be constructed in there. So that
Is the developer doing any sidewalk?
yes, he's doing all of his frontage, almost all of his frontage on Twin Bridge Road.
I mean, I can't I know exactly where you're talking,
Yeah.
but I can't exactly visualize how much sidewalk we're talking about. But
Well,
wouldn't it make sense to work with the developer to maybe, if, while he's putting the sidewalk in, potentially put this little extension piece in? It might be cheaper than
it's worth
doing
exploring.
it twice.
We could explore that before we go to the town. Yeah.
You know, in the status here on that project, it says it's 350 feet. It's a small portion will need to be constructed 350 feet.
And I don't know how much the developer's doing, but if he's doing 350 feet
yeah,
or
he's
500 feet,
He's doing
wouldn't
more
it make
than that.
sense to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
say, hey, how much for whoever his contractor is to
Yeah.
extend this 350 feet?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a good suggestion.
he's mobilized, he's got all his equipment there.
Yeah.
It might be cheaper than the 100,000, depending on what the topography is and how much,
Yeah.
site work they have to do to put the sidewalk in.
Yeah. I think the topography is in favor. There's no issues that I know of, but I haven't really poked into it from an engineering point of view. But if we could connect that to the park, it would be a good thing to do. Okay, I'll explore that first before we do anything further. I'll explore.
When is this project gonna be done? The condos or the
Oh, they're
apartments?
working it hard right now. So they're pouring concrete and all kinds of things going on down there. Yeah.
I mean, I just have my practical hat on saying,
Yeah.
hey, if somehow we can get it done at the same time, it might be cheaper. Would you agree, Leo? You never know,
It could be, yeah.
Yeah.
It could be.
so.
Okay, unfortunately, yeah. We'll do that. I can't speak.
Maybe it's a good little homework assignment, and then when we have our next meeting,
Yeah,
we can make a decision.
well, yeah, whether to go to the town for the money, yeah. But anyway, heads up to Dawn, we're thinking of that. It's just for your information, it's item number, item number 3 on the priority list that Dawn put together for us. Okay? The school master plan, I don't know where Matt is. He's not here today. He didn't tell me he wasn't coming, but that happens. And I expect he's still, the last I heard from them, he was hoping to get it on the agenda for the school district meeting to get that O'Gara Drive sidewalk fixed. There's a piece of O'Gara Drive that doesn't have sidewalk between Babusick Lake Road and the rest of the school campus. So that piece they are going to do. It doesn't fall it's a school district road.
Mhm.
And you probably know that.
I've heard some rumor about that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know if it was a full reconstruction or.
Well,
Is it,
we started
just
out
sidewalk?
talking about a reconstruction. Now, what's there now is about a 4-foot sidewalk. It's all asphalt, including the berm. It's a Cape Cod, whatever berm,
Mhm.
so there's no curbing. Matt was talking about doing it to standards, which would bring it up with the concrete, with not concrete, with the granite curb edges. And that would add a lot to the cost if that's the way they decided to go.
Mhm.
But I'd be happy to just see an asphalt for the little bit that's there. And that will give a walking entrance to the high school from Babusick Lake Road, which we don't have now except through McElwain Street.
And we use asphalt curb in town as well. We have a standard for
Yeah,
asphalt curb.
yeah.
Not just granite, so.
okay. It's the federal, I think, that or
Or
when
state.
we get the state involved, then,
Yeah.
then we get into. Say, speaking of which, I see some what looked like curb going in on Daniel Webster Highway, south of Chamberlain, where East Chamberlain Road comes into Daniel Webster Highway. South of there, on the right-hand side, on the west side of the DW Highway, they've had that blocked off, and they've been working on what looked like either they're burying a pipe, which or they're building a sidewalk. I don't know which.
It looks like they're building a sidewalk to me. It was
Yeah.
granite curbing.
Yeah, and they're putting granite curbing in there.
I haven't seen that. Not familiar with it,
Okay.
fortunately.
Well, you might look into it.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're building it to town standards, and which is fine. I'm
Looks
not
pretty good to
not
me.
complaining about this. I just
Sure.
want to know how did it happen. It's really it's out of the jurisdiction of the town center committee. See, that's not in the town center anymore, but it's an important link to the 360 project, which is one of the goals for 2030 something.
Right.
Yeah.
We have the TAP grant for the sidewalks for the,
Yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah. And there you'd have to build, if you build the TAP grant, you got to have the granite curb and all the other things.
Mhm.
You know, that's, yeah. Good. Okay. That takes care of that. Unfortunately, Matt's not here. I don't know what the status is as far as videotaping by the media center. Maybe you do, Bill, since your
I-
name is on this.
I don't, honestly. I haven't, I've been busy and I haven't talked to Nick at all,
Yeah,
so I don't have anything to say on that.
yeah. Well, we'll have to just put that off till next time. It's a status report more than anything. He's been saying that he's going to have crews out. I think
I think he has, but
I think-
I don't want to speak for
I
him.
think Grace said something about them having. I'll see her there. Okay. So the other thing is, if there's any status to report on the Route 3 Wire Road Babusick Brook Bridge project, the super bridge.
Hold on, put my mic on. I can't speak to that very intelligently. We did have a meeting on Thursday to go over some comments and some details on just some design comments that the state had. But as far as schedule and what have you, I don't have
Yeah.
that information.
Yeah. Well, it's a few years away. I think 2 years.
Yeah, it's still a little ways out. so.
Yeah, but I was hoping things are going along okay. There's no
It's
hiccups yet.
It's
Yeah.
moving along, and from what I've seen of the drawings, the conceptual drawings, that they look very good.
Yeah.
But there's still quite a bit to
Did we settle the issue of stop sign versus red lights versus traffic lights?
not yet,
Oh,
not yet. So yeah, still working on those.
okay.
those issues.
Who's working that issue? Is that something
That's the designers and the state.
in the state?
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, we were involved with that discussion a little bit on Thursday. So
I would hope, yeah.
Yeah.
And ultimately, will it come to the town council for a final decision?
I believe so.
I
I
thought-
can't, like
yeah.
I said, I can't speak intelligently about that, but I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll have to pass over that. And yeah, I just wanted to talk briefly about the town annual report, which I have to put in before we meet again. And I haven't done it because I thought maybe it would be ready, but it's not ready to talk about yet. And I did not bring a draft. I have a draft. I will have to send it an annual report of the town center committee. This is something we do every year. It goes in the town annual report as a 1-page limit, and that's okay. and I have here a draft of it, but it's got a lot of mistakes, so I didn't pass it out yet. But basically, the things that it covers is the Sauhegan River Trail, and that's our big good thing for the year. We talk about what we're going to have from the high school, the O'Gara Drive, but again, I have to talk to Matt about that and see where it's at for the end of the year. And also I need to talk to Nick for the latest on where he's at with the filming of the projects. He had people out for the groundbreaking. He was there and he even spoke a little bit at the groundbreaking, and that was okay. So I'm talking about the map that Dawn upgraded. I don't have one with me, but I handed it out the last time. She's got a map that links to this schedule and by number, so you can find where you are.
I don't know if you've already got it in that report, but you might want to highlight, just for readership, the number 1 priority on our list. So if somebody's reading it and wants to know what our number 1 priority is, maybe that could be on your report.
Yeah, maybe I could even, I'll mention, I'll get this work in the, Yeah.
Or the things that can be, I mean, a lot of these things are a long way out.
yeah,
So maybe like things that we hope to get done in the next 2 years, let's say, or 2 to 3 years,
yeah,
might be good to highlight in your report.
that's a good suggestion. And end of summer or sometime in summer for the Sauhegan River Trail.
Leo said April. Just joking. Just joking.
No.
Oh no, Don's gonna kill me.
No, you will not be quoted directly in an annual report. I
Thank you.
promise you that.
Thank you.
No, just a rough idea. I mean, saying the end of the summer, that can be November, right? That's the way it's gone.
Unfortunately, and depending on what happens and weather and
Yeah.
what have you. So
So you can keep the contractor on the job, that's a good,
yes,
keep him mobilized.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be
I don't know
nice.
if he'll pull off the job and then you gotta get him back on the job. That
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
always becomes a challenge with contractors.
In the
Right.
spring, they're gonna start new jobs,
Yeah.
right? That's when the new ones start. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right. So
okay.
yeah, we don't want to lose the momentum we're making. So, yeah.
You know, Nelson, also, I've looked at those annual reports before, and a lot of them, can't remember if you do this or not, but they thank other departments, thank you, Public Works, and
Yeah,
at the end of their the annual.
Yeah, I used to
statement.
do that.
Do you do that? Oh,
Yeah, but I'm glad for the suggestion. Let's see here, the committee. Well, last year, yeah, we worked with, it says the committee worked with the DPW to the, yeah. And also the media group.
also, maybe the National Regional Planning Commission. Remember how we did meet with, was it Emma?
Yes, Emma Rurick.
Right.
Yeah. You know, pause. Go on. Yeah, those are the big groups that we've worked with this year, I think. Can't think of anybody else. But we certainly wouldn't be anywhere without them. Yeah. Okay. If you think of anything in the next few days, they haven't asked me for it yet, but it usually comes about this time of year so they can get their report done. Anything else anybody would like to bring up or discuss or skip over till next time?
Actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
The master plan is being revised in a year or two.
Yeah.
Is this committee involved in that at all?
Well, they certainly should be. And I don't remember. I think the last plan was done in 2013.
Right.
Okay, so I think we're mentioned in there. I'm not sure. But it's certainly something it should be on our radar. And I don't know if they're going to actually do it this coming year. Support the town master plan. We reference it in our charter, references the town master plan. It ties back in. It's mentioned, this committee is mentioned in the master plan. But a lot of water's gone over the dam, under the dam since then, so yeah. Okay, good suggestion. Thank you, Karen. I'll send this around before I send it out so you can all see it and chop on it. Anything else? We should set a date for a next meeting. And it probably should be in January or sometime after the holidays. I don't know.
I'm going to be traveling for a few weeks in January, so personally, towards the end of January would be when I would be available, but not early in January. So,
Yeah,
but I'm just speaking for myself.
well, nobody else will speak. Oh, this doesn't go to January. This ends in December. We can probably fake it out of our. Oh, is it on the back?
Maybe on cell phone.
I have to go to my cell phone.
I
Yeah.
can see my cell phone. Karen, do you have any particular date?
No, January. I'm traveling before January, so
Oh,
I'm pretty wide open in
Okay.
January.
I mean, and again, don't set this date based on me, but the 26th of January maybe, but if you want to do it earlier, go for it.
yeah, that would be 2.5 months from now. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
here. Well, no, I'm not.
Yeah. Well, I'll put out 2 options and let people tell me which they prefer. We can either go the 19th or the 26th of January. And 18 or 26 January.
We might have towards the end of January, we might know a lot more about how the construction's going.
Yes,
That could be.
Seriously.
Yeah, I was
mean,
looking
if
to see.
things are mild and they're cooking along, or if they're bad, we'll
Yeah.
know one way or the other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true.
when are they gonna start the boardwalk? Do they have that date picked out?
I
But-
don't recall what their schedule had. It's a little ways away.
Yeah.
Because there's borings that need to be done
Yeah,
for the foundation investigation.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't think that gets started until the spring, but I could be wrong about that.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought they wanted frozen ground. At one point, we heard,
It's best because of the wetland area. If you're,
yeah,
it's least disturbance. So, but I'm not sure when they're actually going to get into that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. We'll have to see. We'll put out those two dates as options and see if the board would like to meet on either of them. And
Motion to adjourn?
that's motion made.
I second that.
All those in favor of the motion to adjourn?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.